have you ever looked at what AI tools like ChatGPT can do and felt like you're only scratching the surface, maybe just tapping into a tiny fraction? What if you could actually, direct its thinking, really mold its intelligence to your precise needs? Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're not just asking questions of AI. No, we're learning how to become its director. Our mission for this deep dive, to move you beyond those simple commands, transforming you into someone who truly understands how to unlock the advanced capabilities of these large language models.
That's exactly right. We're diving deep into something called 10 advanced prompt frameworks.
Oh, great.
And you should think of these less as quick tips, really, and more as sophisticated blueprints. They're about equipping the AI with a clear role, a specific context, a set of rigorous rules, and crucially, a defined workflow. It's kind of like giving your AI a specialized brain for every unique task you can imagine throwing at it.
Yeah, so if you've sensed that your AI tools hold far more potential than you've tapped into so far, this deep dive is definitely crafted for you. You'll soon discover how to join that, let's say, select group of users who truly extract maximum power from AI. Okay, let's unpack this and explore what that actually means. Most of us, and I include myself here, especially at first, we tend to treat AI like a high-powered search engine, right? Or maybe a sophisticated Q&A machine. We type a question, we get an answer, we move on. Simple. But the source material for this deep dive, it consistently points to something much more profound. It suggests that AI's true potential, it's unleashed through structured, almost architectural communication. We're talking about moving far beyond those single-line commands.
Exactly. A prompt framework isn't just a longer instruction. It's much more. It's a comprehensive design. It explicitly defines the AI's role. Is it going to be a marketing strategist today,
Yeah.
or maybe a scientific explainer, a legal analyst? It establishes the context. Who's the audience here? What are the stakes? It sets precise rules. What must it include? What should it absolutely avoid? What tone does it need? And it outlines the workflow, the steps the AI should follow. This fundamentally transforms your relationship with the AI. You're no longer just an actor delivering a line. You become the director, guiding this highly skilled expert in exactly the field you need.
So on a fundamental level, what does this actually change about how we interact with AI, like day to day?
Well, it shifts us. It shifts us from being passive recipients of AI-generated answers to becoming active, intentional designers of the AI's very thought process. We're not just getting results anymore. We're actively engineering them.
That makes perfect sense. Okay, let's jump into our first framework then. This is one that I find particularly powerful, especially for making really dense topics accessible. It's called the Expert Visual Explainer, and it's presented as a significant upgrade from just asking AI to, explain like I'm 5. Its core purpose is to break down extremely complex subjects into intuitive, truly understandable concepts, but, and this is key, without sacrificing the essential nuances.
Yeah, and what's fascinating here is that the AI's role isn't just to simplify things down. It's actually to act as a leading science communicator. Think of those brilliant explainers you see, maybe from channels like Chris Kasakt in a Nutshell, or someone like Neil deGrasse Tyson, perhaps. The task is to explain a topic in a way that feels inherently visual and really engaging. So this isn't about dumbing down the information at all. It's about making it brilliantly clear through powerful, memorable analogies and metaphors. It helps the listener build strong mental models.
Right. And the rules sound quite specific, too. It insists on absolutely no jargon, or, if a technical term must be used, it demands immediate explanation with a vivid, real-world example. It pushes the AI to focus on the why. Why is this concept important? It asks it to use 2-3 core metaphors throughout the explanation and to maintain this enthusiastic, curious tone. The output format is also structured, starting with an engaging question, moving into the main explanation, and then concluding with a concise, in a nutshell, summary. But, okay, here's a question. How do we prevent the AI from simplifying too much? Losing the actual complexity when explaining something truly intricate, like, say, quantum entanglement.
That's a crucial point. The framework emphasizes powerful visual analogies and the underlying why. The key is that visual analogies don't just reduce, they kind of restructure your understanding. So for instance, rather than just saying particles are linked, the framework would push for an analogy. Maybe something like, imagine 2 coins spun in separate rooms, but they always land on opposite sides no matter how far apart they are. This helps build a new mental model without just, glossing over the tricky physics.
That's a great example. So it's really about building strong mental models, not just summarizing.
Precisely. Deep conceptual clarity is the goal.
Okay. So from helping us grasp complex scientific ideas, let's pivot a bit. Let's talk about a different kind of clarity, the strategic kind. Our next framework seems tailor-made for distilling huge amounts of information into actionable insights, especially in the fast-paced corporate world. This is the senior analyst, framed as an upgrade from your basic TLDR request. It's designed to transform a long, dense document into a strategic summary that focuses purely on critical information for high-stakes decision-making.
Exactly. Here, the AI takes on this specific persona, a business intelligence analyst, and it's preparing what the source calls a strategic briefing report. You got to imagine this report is for C-level executives who, frankly, have very little time. They need to make critical business decisions quickly. The entire context is driven by that need for speed and strategic relevance. It's really a game changer for information overload.
Yeah, I can see that. And the rules for this framework sound incredibly strict. Like, ignore all narrative fluff, quantify everything possible with actual data points, and explicitly identify both risks and opportunities. The output is super streamlined: a single sentence course summary, up to 3 key data points, 2 strategic opportunities, 2 potential risks, and a concise 1-sentence recommended action. It's a very tight package. But okay, how do we ensure the AI identifies what's truly critical for, let's say, a CFO versus a CMO? They might have very different priorities from the same document.
That's where you, as the director, provide the initial context. That's crucial. You specify who the executive is and what kind of decision they're facing. Is it financial? Is it marketing? The framework then filters for quantifiable data and highlights specific risks, opportunities, and that direct recommendation, but relevant to that stated executive and their specific goals. It's about targeted intelligence, not just generic summary.
Got it. So it's all about framing the specific executive and their challenge beforehand.
Yes, their lens absolutely shapes the analysis.
Okay, moving on then. We have the professional voice elevator, which takes those simple, jargonized requests to a whole new level, it seems. This framework is specifically designed to transform plain, maybe even kind of pedestrian text into a sophisticated, persuasive document, something perfectly suited for highly specific professional environments.
That's right. The AI here assumes the role of a senior editor, but one specializing in a field you choose could be corporate communications, academia, legal, whatever. Its primary task is to rewrite the original text to the absolute highest standards of that selected field. But what's more, it then explains the critical changes it made. And honestly, I still wrestle sometimes with making my own initial drafts sound consistently professional and authoritative, even after years of writing. This tool, this framework, it helps a lot. It really ensures precision.
Mm-hmm. And the context is key, right? This text is intended for a highly important audience, perhaps a board of directors or a research grant committee, maybe a high-profile legal brief. That first impression is vital. So the process involves the AI first analyzing your text, then rewriting it with precise terminology and structure, and finally generating a rationale for changes section that breaks down the, say, 3 or 4 most important edits it made. Okay, but what are the potential downsides here? How do we prevent it from becoming too elevated? Sounding artificial or maybe overly academic when that's not quite right.
That's a valid concern for sure. The framework's success really hinges on your clear initial guidance. You have to be specific about the professional environment. If you just vaguely say, make it professional, yeah, you risk getting generic pomposity back. But if you specify, say, this is a proposal for a venture capital firm that's looking for innovation, not just market share, then the AI's elevation becomes targeted and authentic to that specific context. So yes, it builds authority, but it's authority tailored for that specific audience.
Ah, okay. So the magic is really in the nuanced context you provide up front.
Absolutely.
But
Precision in context prevents artificiality.
our fourth framework is almost the opposite of that, isn't it? It's for anyone who's ever gotten AI output and thought, ugh, this just sounds robotic. This is the AI to human voice editor, and it refines that dry AI sounding text into something soulful, authentic, and emotionally resonant. It's presented as an upgrade from simply asking the AI to humanize text.
Yeah, here the AI truly becomes more like a brand voice editor and a seasoned copywriter. Its task is literally breathing life into often lifeless prose. And the rules are absolutely crucial for this transformation. It must eliminate tired cliches, like revolutionize or game changer. We've all seen those. It's instructed to use an active conversational voice, often with shorter sentences and natural contractions like it's or your. It's about adding personality and, maybe most importantly, focusing on you, the reader, to create that direct connection.
And the example in our source material really highlights this shift. Something like, our platform enables users to leverage innovative tools to maximize productivity and efficiency becomes, our tools are here to help you get things done faster without the stress. Think of it as a friend who keeps your workday flowing smoothly. It completely changes the feeling, the tone. But how does simply avoiding those common AI cliches directly improve a reader's connection? Doesn't something like leverage innovative tools sound kind of impressive?
Well, it might sound impressive in a sort of generic corporate way, perhaps, but it lacks warmth, doesn't it? It feels distant. By avoiding those cliches, the message instantly feels more genuine, more authentic. It signals that this isn't just another generic robotic sales pitch landing in your inbox. It actually builds trust by speaking human to human. When you hear, think of it as a friend, your brain processes that very differently than leverage innovative tool.
Right. It's about making the message feel real and relatable, not just functional.
Precisely. It bypasses the usual marketing filter we all have up.
Okay, let's pivot again. Now, from refining communication to refining learning itself, our fifth framework taps into one of the most effective learning methods known. This is the Feynman technique tutor. Its purpose is to help you achieve a truly deep and durable understanding of any topic through structured interactive learning, not just memorization.
Yeah, the AI here acts as a professional tutor, specifically embodying the physicist Richard Feynman's famous teaching philosophy. Its goal isn't to just hand you information, like dumping facts. Instead, it guides you in building your own robust mental model of the subject. The interactive process is structured into 4 distinct steps. First, you teach the AI what you think you know. You explain it back. Then the AI identifies gaps in your explanation. It points out what's missing or unclear. Next, you work with the AI to fill gaps with new insights or clearer understanding. And finally, you simplify and analogize the concept till it's crystal clear in your own mind. This process truly helps you internalize complex subjects rather than just, memorizing facts for a test.
That sounds like a really powerful approach, but
Yeah.
is there a risk the AI might give in? Just provide the answer if the user is struggling too much. Wouldn't that undermine the whole self-discovery process?
That's where the framework's rules are pretty critical. The AI is programmed to only identify gaps and ask guiding questions. It's explicitly told not to just dump information or give the answer away. It's supposed to act like a good human tutor. They don't do the work for you, right? They nudge you, they prompt you until you find the answer yourself. It keeps the learning active and focused squarely on your understanding.
Okay, so it's designed to maintain the integrity of the Feynman method itself.
Exactly. It preserves that core idea of self-discovery.
All right, building on that theme of deeper thinking, our sixth framework encourages truly rigorous critical thought. This is the Socratic philosophical inquirer. It helps you explore a complex problem or maybe an idea you hold through a relentless series of guided questions, much like the ancient Greek philosopher Socrates himself.
Right. The AI here embodies a pure Socratic philosopher, and it has one ultimate unbreakable rule. It is only allowed to ask questions. It must never, under any circumstances, make a statement, give an answer, or provide an explanation. 0 declarations. Its questions are specifically designed to challenge your assumptions, push for crystal clear definitions, explore the logical consequences of your ideas, and force you to consider alternative viewpoints you might not have even thought of.
Whoa. I mean, imagine the depth of insight you could reach when AI guides you purely through questions, never giving you an answer directly. It's like having the most unbiased, tireless thought partner imaginable, just forcing you to confront every angle of your own thinking. It sounds intense, but for some people, maybe constantly being asked questions without getting direct answers could feel frustrating, couldn't it? Are there specific situations where this framework might actually hinder progress instead of helping?
Oh, it's true. It's definitely not for every single scenario. If you just need a quick factual answer like, what's the capital of France? This isn't the tool you want, obviously. But for deep exploration, for truly unpacking a belief you hold or wrestling with a complex ethical problem, its power is immense. It forces genuine self-reflection and encourages independent thought. It allows you to discover your own unique answers and insights rather than just adopting pre-packaged ones from the AI or anywhere else. It really excels when clarity on your own thinking is the paramount goal.
Got it. So it's really about building clarity in your own thought process, first and foremost.
Yes, internal clarity is absolutely the goal there.
Okay, framework number 7. This one's all about capturing the essence of great communicators. This is the style mimicry master. It's presented as an advanced version of simply asking AI to, rewrite like someone. It helps you authentically and sophisticatedly replicate a specific person's voice, whether it's Ernest Hemingway or, say, Steve Jobs, or even a particular archetype like wise mentor.
Yeah, the AI here becomes a true master of stylistic analysis and mimicry. The process has two crucial steps, apparently. First, it analyzes the target persona's unique linguistic characteristics, their typical vocabulary choices, their sentence structure preferences, the rhythm of their prose, their overall tone. Only then does it rewrite your original text in that exact analyzed style. It's about getting beneath the surface of their words, trying to understand their authorial DNA, so to speak.
That's fascinating, but how can analyzing those specific linguistic characteristics help us understand an author's DNA without it just becoming like a caricature of their style, a superficial imitation?
Well, the idea is that it breaks down their unique elements, like maybe Hemingway's preference for short declarative sentences or another writer's use of vivid sensory details into actionable components.
Mm.
So instead of just trying to vaguely sound like Hemingway, the AI understands how Hemingway writes. Minimalist prose, focusing on action and dialogue, generally eschewing adjectives. It replicates the mechanics, the underlying structure, not just a superficial impression.
Okay. So it's about the deep mechanics, the actual blueprint of their style, not just the surface features.
Exactly. Structural replication is the aim.
Now, our eighth framework is a bit meta, isn't it? It teaches you how to create great prompts yourself by doing some clever detective work. This is the prompt reverse engineer. Its purpose is to help you learn advanced prompt writing skills by analyzing a high-quality AI output and then deconstructing the prompt that must have created it, kind of working backwards.
Right. The AI in this role is positioned as an expert prompt engineer, someone who designs those precise, effective instructions for other AIs. So you provide it with an excellent piece of AI-generated text, something you admire. Its task is then to construct a comprehensive prompt framework that could logically reproduce a similar high-quality result. This involves identifying the likely original goal, the target audience, the desired tone, the implied structure, and even any hidden constraints that probably shaped that original output. It's like forensic linguistics, but for AI prompts.
That's brilliant. I still wrestle with prompt drift sometimes, where my instructions don't quite get the output I expect. This sounds useful. What's the core skill this framework really teaches you about truly effective interaction with AI? What do you take away?
I think it helps you internalize the underlying structure and the precise intent that makes an AI output truly excellent. You learn to think more like a prompt engineer yourself, understanding not just what to ask, but how to ask it for optimal results. It basically trains your intuition for crafting better instructions over time.
Okay, so it's about building that intuitive understanding of prompt design and intent.
Absolutely. It's about mastering the intent behind the prompt.
All right, for our ninth framework, we're talking about giving you precise, almost granular control over the AI's creativity versus its precision. This is the Creative Control Suite, which builds on that basic idea of temperature control that some users might know. It's like turning a dial, but maybe with more defined modes.
Exactly. We're delving into AI's temperature setting here, which fundamentally controls how much the AI will improvise or generate novel, unexpected ideas versus how much it will strictly adhere to factual, known information. This framework presents two distinct modes. First, there's max creativity mode, which uses a high temperature setting. Here, the AI acts like a sort of rebellious creative director. It prioritizes novelty, it makes unexpected connections, and it uses vivid, imaginative language.
Okay, and then on the other end of the spectrum, there's absolute precision mode, using a low temperature. Here, the AI acts like a meticulous fact checker, maybe for a scientific encyclopedia. It operates under strict rules, no speculation allowed, demanding clear, unambiguous language and maintaining a very data-driven, neutral tone. Can you give us a quick, tangible example of when you'd use one versus the other, just to make it concrete?
Sure, certainly. Imagine you're brainstorming ideas for a new product name. You'd want high temperature, right? Max creativity. It would give you wildly inventive, maybe even quirky suggestions you'd never think of yourself. But if you're drafting a crucial legal clause for a contract, you'd want absolute precision, low temperature. That ensures every single word is meticulously chosen for accuracy and precedent, eliminating any speculative or ambiguous phrasing whatsoever. It's all about matching the AI's output style to the specific needs of your task.
That makes the concept incredibly clear. Perfect example. So it's about explicitly choosing between imaginative, perhaps risky output, and verifiable, safe accuracy.
Precisely. It's about achieving intentional creative output or intentional precision.
Got it. Finally, we arrive at our 10th framework. And this one is about forcing the AI to review and dramatically improve the quality of its own output. This is the iterative improvement and self-critique loop. And it sounds like a really powerful follow-up prompt, something you use after an initial response to turn a first draft into a polished final product.
That's the idea. The AI in this framework takes on a dual role. It becomes both a quality assurance analyst and a senior editor, reviewing its own work. Its task is to perform a structured critique and improvement process on its own previous response. So it evaluates that response against specific criteria you might give it, or defaults like clarity, depth, engagement, originality. It then summarizes its own weaknesses, things it could have done better, and finally, based on that critique, it creates a significantly better version 2.0. It's kind of like having an AI editor built in for the AI itself, constantly pushing for excellence.
That's a powerful concept, having the AI internally reflect and refine its own work like that. But how do we ensure the AI's internal critique is genuinely aligned with human preferences or with the specific goals we initially set? How do we stop it just optimizing for its own internal metrics, whatever those might be?
Well, that's where your initial prompt or even a follow-up prompt directing this loop can guide its self-correction. You're still the director. You can give it specific criteria to critique against, like ensure it sounds more human, or check for factual accuracy against these provided sources I gave you earlier. The framework provides the structure for critique, but you, the user, still provide the direction and the standards it should adhere to during that critique. It teaches us the immense value of adding a structured critical review process to get superior results, even when working with AI.
Right. So it's about building a structured feedback loop, guiding the AI's own refinement process.
Exactly. Quality through guided iteration. Sponsor.
So we've just navigated through 10 incredibly powerful prompt frameworks. Wow. It's abundantly clear, isn't it, that AI is so much more than just a simple Q&A machine. It's a versatile intellectual partner just waiting for the right guidance.
Absolutely. By adopting these kinds of in-depth frameworks, you fundamentally change your entire relationship with AI. It's a real shift. You evolve from being just a passive recipient of answers to becoming an active, intentional designer of its thought process. You're effectively giving the AI a tailored brain, one optimized for each specific task, and that transforms it into an indispensable intellectual partner.
Yeah. We genuinely encourage you listening to save these frameworks, maybe adapt them, customize them for your own unique needs, and then, importantly, practice them often. It really feels like the key, the real secret, to truly transforming how you interact with artificial intelligence and unlocking its full potential.
And maybe here's a thought for you to ponder as we wrap up. What specific challenging problem or task will you tackle first with one of these frameworks? We invite you to explore that question and discover the possibilities for yourself.
If you're hungry for more insights and want to dive deeper into how AI is transforming different aspects of our lives, well, you'll find other deep dives waiting for you right here.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep directing your AI towards truly amazing things. Aotearoa Music.